All right, let's dive right in. We're going to talk about how you can completely reset your financial life in just 90 days. And I mean it. No fluff, no jargon, just a clear, step-by-step system to take you from feeling stressed and overwhelmed to totally in control.
So let me ask you this. Does this question kind of hit home? For a lot of us, it does. It's a super common feeling, this idea that we're just not wired to handle money correctly. But you know what? What if that's completely the wrong way to think about it?
And this quote just hits the nail on the head. The real issue isn't a personal failing. It's a system failure. So let me say that again. The problem isn't you. It's the lack of a clear, actionable plan. And that is exactly what we're going to build together right now.
So what's the secret? It's all about a mindset shift. You need to start thinking of your personal finances as a business. Let's call it You Incorporated. Successful businesses succeed because they track everything: what comes in, what goes out, and what's left over. We're going to take those exact same winning principles and apply them to your money.
So here's our game plan. We're breaking down these 90 days into 3 clear phases. First up, we're going to gain control. Then we shift gears to actually building wealth. And finally, we'll perfect the system so it runs smoothly for the long haul. And here it is, the entire 12-week program at a glance. You can see how it all flows together. We start with the absolute fundamentals, getting a handle on your spending and putting things on autopilot. Then we move to the really exciting stuff like investing, and we finish by fine-tuning everything for long-term success. All right, let's kick things off with phase 1, gaining control. These first 4 weeks are all about building a rock-solid foundation. We have to get brutally honest about where your money is actually going so we can plug the leaks and start telling your money where to go, instead of wondering where it went. So, as the new CEO of You Inc., you've got to know your numbers. It's simple, really. Your income, that's your revenue. Your expenses, rent, food, fun, those are your costs. And your savings, well, that's your net profit. This one little mindset shift changes everything.
Okay, week 1, you're putting on your auditor's hat. I want you to pull up the last 3 months of your bank and credit card statements and categorize every single transaction. Then in week 2, we get ruthless. We cut the fat. Look at your biggest expense categories and just ask, can I reduce this? Maybe it's a few less Ubers, or maybe it's making a call to get cheaper car insurance. Every single dollar you cut is a dollar you can put towards your future.
Now, for what I honestly believe is the single most powerful step in this entire plan: automation. This is the real game changer. This is how you make progress without ever relying on willpower. You build a system that does the heavy lifting for you, even on the days you don't feel motivated.
And here's the playbook. First, open a high-yield savings account so your money can actually earn some real interest. Then set up automatic transfers that happen on every single payday. A chunk goes to savings, a chunk goes to investments. This is called paying yourself first. Why? Because you can't spend what you don't see in your main account. It's that simple.
In week 4, it's time to confront the #1 enemy of building wealth: high-interest consumer debt. I'm talking about credit card debt. That 21% interest rate, it's like trying to swim upstream with an anchor tied to your leg. The goal this week isn't to pay it all off instantly, but to create a concrete, aggressive plan to get rid of it for good.
All right, deep breath. Phase 1 was all about playing defense, plugging leaks, building a solid foundation. Now for the fun part. Let's move to phase 2, where we finally shift to offense. This is where we start actively, intentionally building wealth.
Week 5 is all about building your financial safety net. And this number right here, wow, it's pretty sobering. Nearly 60% of people can't cover a surprise $1,000 bill. That's why your first big goal is to save $1,000 for an emergency fund. Hitting that number is a massive psychological win, and it gives you some crucial breathing room. Okay, week 6. This is where the real magic starts to happen. We start investing. This is how you truly build wealth, not just saving, but owning assets that grow over time. And for most people just starting out, the simplest, most effective way to do this is to consistently buy a low-cost S&P 500 index fund or ETF. You're basically buying a tiny piece of the 500 biggest companies in America.
And this is why we do it. Just look at the insane power of compound interest. Even $100 a month can grow to nearly 150 grand over 30 years. If you can manage $1,000 a month, you're looking at almost $1.5 million. The key isn't being a genius investor, it's consistency over a long, long time.
In week 7, we focus on the other side of the coin. Think about it.
You can only cut so many costs, but your earning potential is basically unlimited. So pick one of these paths. Want a raise? Don't just ask, build your case with your accomplishments. Want a side hustle? Start simple with something like freelance writing. Or want to learn a high-income skill? Dedicate 5 hours a week to an online course. Just pick one and start.
For week 8, we're going to use a little brain science to our advantage. A fascinating study found that just the simple act of writing down your goals makes you 42% more likely to achieve them. So your task this week is simple but incredibly powerful. Define your major savings goals and write them down. Be specific. Make it real.
We are officially in the home stretch. Welcome to Phase 3, where we master the system. You've built the machine. Now it's time to fine-tune it, learn to use your financial tools like a pro, and track the one number that truly defines your progress.
In week 9, let's talk about credit cards. They're a classic double-edged sword. If you are disciplined, and I mean paying the balance in full, on time, every single month, they are an amazing tool. You get rewards, you build your credit. But if you carry a balance, they become a high-interest trap that will sabotage your progress. The key is to be honest with yourself. Week 10 is about the single most important number in your financial life, your net worth. It's the ultimate scorecard. You just take everything you own, your assets, and subtract everything you owe, your liabilities. That's it. Your bank balance tells you how you're doing today. Your net worth tells you the story of your entire financial journey. Tracking this number every few months is what shifts your focus from short-term spending to long-term wealth creation. For the final 2 weeks, we're going to look back, and then we're going to look forward. In week 11, review your spending from the past 2 months. Did you stick to your plan? Are there any new leaks you need to patch? And then in week 12, it's time to dream big. Set some ambitious stretch goals for the next 1, 5, and 10 years. Maybe it's buying a home or hitting $100,000 net worth. Give yourself a North Star to aim for.
So, after these 90 days, you'll have audited your entire financial life, automated your savings, started investing, and created a real plan for your future. You've gone from financial stress to financial control. But here's the most important thing to remember. This isn't the finish line. Not even close. This is your new starting line. You've now built a system for lifelong success. And that leaves us with one final thought. You now have the tools, the mindset, and the system to completely change your financial story. By taking control of this one short period, you've unlocked the potential for a radically different future. So the only question left is, what are you going to build with it?